the effects of small particles, which certainly find their way into the brain. But what we don't know is what effects they have in the brain. Do they stay in the brain? Do they accumulate throughout life in the brain? Are they capable of exerting pathological effects?
He says this report is a gateway for further research, but demonstrates that pollutants created by humans are contributing to their mental decline. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap our top stories, UK defense officials say that a Ukrainian counter-offensive in Kherson is gaining momentum. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un says South Korea will face annihilation if they start a confrontation. Saudi Arabia's crown prince is due in France later on Thursday in his first trip to Europe since 2018. And foreign ministers of India, Russia, China, Pakistan and 5 Central Asian nations are meeting on Thursday to review regional cooperation. That's the latest feature story news. Chris Jones reporting.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong?
I'm Dan.
I'm TL, and we're from Blue Suede Connection.
And we're excited to be part of the KCHW family.
Bringing you 2 hours of Elvis and fun every week.
Join us every Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on 102.7 KCHW.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.
I'm all shook up.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
We are the Three Amigos.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, looking at 7:24 on the 28th of July. It is Three Amigos Thursday. And live with me today on the radio and on our social media platforms, you've got Mr. Alan Milani from Chewila Floor and Wall. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, sir.
Big problem coming into work a couple hours early on a Thursday?
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely horrible.
And live from his home in Chewila, Washington, it's Chuck Richie. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
Chuck loves you guys so much today, he put the dogs outside.
I did.
Right.
Well, 3 of them. 3 of the 4.
All right. Are they out there whimpering right now?
No, they're probably chasing each other and trying to grab toys from each other.
All right.
Who put
the dogs out?
Woof, woof,
I did.
Woof. All right, I'll try not to sing again.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Man, weather, you guys. How you doing with the heat?
That like hot stuff?
Yeah, I mean, how you doing with the heat? Are you guys surviving? You doing okay? Everybody got air conditioning?
Yes, sir.
We do. But this is like the one advantage to my nerve damage that I've had is I'm cold all the time, so this is fantastic.
All right, doesn't bother you at all, huh?
Everyone else in my house is dying, and I'm going outside like, finally I'm warm for the first time in almost a year.
I don't want to shame you for all the weight loss, but I hate being heavier than you now.
I know, right? That combined with the nerve damage is why I'm so cold now. I don't have any insulation anymore.
Oh man,
I didn't know reverse body shaming was a thing, Scott. Bravo, buddy.
Look at that. Oh, that's good. 102 in
You're
Chewila
just
today.
jealous.
Yes. 102 in Chewila today. Lots of sunshine. Partly cloudy tonight. Maybe even a stray thunderstorm at 15%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, a thunderstorm in 100-degree weather. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lightning.
Let's see, 65 for an overnight low. That's a good camping night in eastern
It
Washington. That's some nice overnight temperatures. Very, very. You don't even need a sleeping bag. Just find a picnic table.
I've been going outside a lot at night lately because it's just gorgeous. Like when it's 65, 70 degrees. Ooh, it's nice.
We get my buddy Ron listening every now and then. And years and years ago, we were road tripping, and we stopped at a rest area, and we were really tired and couldn't drive anymore. And we just took our sleeping bags and got on picnic tables. And if you listen to the show a lot, you know I have lots of allergies. And we wake up in the morning, we kind of wake up the same time, and we both pivot, and we're facing each other on our picnic tables. And he calls me Chuck, which is kind of fun, Chuck. and he's starting to get angry, and he's like, I'm never camping with you again. I am done. I'm not camping with you anymore, ever. And I'm like, what? And he goes, your ear. And I'd had all these reactions, piece of metal in my eye, all these camping experiences with him. And when he says my ear, I realize my ear is really, really hot. And I put my hand up there, and I had a Dumbo ear. You wouldn't think that your ear could swell up, you know, but especially the little dangly part on the bottom, it can really swell up. I literally had an ear that was 5-6 times the size of my normal ear on the side of my head. I had been bitten by something on the picnic table overnight.
Dude. Wow.
It was huge. A huge floppy ear. All right. Kind of like the ones Alan has.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, just kidding. I can't even see your ears. I can't even see them.
Alan, your ears are beautiful.
Yes.
I'm going back to my headphones.
Put your ear in the camera so we can all enjoy it. Come on. Oh, yeah, nice ear.
That's a good shape right there.
Are you happy now?
I'm happy now.
Okay.
Picking up a heavy kind of creepy vibe, though. I hope you are, too. All right, Friday.
Well, that's why we're here, for the creepy vibes.
That's right. Friday, 103 and 63 for your high and low under sunny skies. Saturday, 103 and 62. Sunday, 103 and 66. And then 95 on Monday, back into the 80s. And some partly cloudy skies for the heart of your week next week. So a little relief if you can get through the next few days. Wow. All right, you guys aren't worried about it at all. All right.
No.
Nothing.
All right. I got it a lot easier here in Maine. I'm enjoying 75 degrees this morning.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's going to be warm and muggy, though. We've got sunshine today and a few clouds and a stray thunderstorm possible this afternoon, too. So it's going to get really muggy. I was actually out working out this morning on a walk, and a lady said, "It's already sticky," when we walked by her.
You know, the worst thing about this, it's not so much me, but for everyone else in the house, is when I do the show, I have to turn the air conditioner off because it's too loud.
Oh, but you're doing it in the bathroom.
Yeah, right. This is my bedroom. For the last time. No. I can see how our curtains do kind of look a little like shower curtains.
It does, and the stand that's always behind you there, it looks like one of those stands that go over a toilet. See?
You know what's funny is we bought 2 of these exact same set of shelves, and one of them is in the bathroom.
Oh.
But we don't have a Glowforge and the printer in our bathroom.
It's none of our business what you do in your bathroom.
That's right, Jack. You can sleep in there.
It's the only place I can be in peace.
Where's Dad? He's sleeping in the bathroom.
It's my sanctuary.
Most of us call it the library.
The library. All right.
You know, if we didn't only have one bathroom in the house with 3 females, I would be in there all the time,
constantly.
All right, so since we just did the weather, let's do something on heat real quick before I go to a few news stories this morning. Washington Post once ran a column titled "Frigid Offices Freezing Women, Oblivious Men." Right? And it says, an air conditioning investigation that generated a heated response on the internet. The author, Petula Dvorak, her conclusion, blasting the office air conditioner is sexist. Cooler office temperatures favor suit-clad men whose traditional office wear keeps them warmer than women in dresses. Does seem kind of unfair. All right, so there are a number of reasons to keep the AC on that have nothing to do with gender. A number of studies have shown that heat and humidity, especially now in the summer, does no favors for your brain. So here's some things for you. Heat impairs your decision-making. In 2012, researchers at the University of Virginia and Houston studied the effects of heat on decision-making using a real-world example, lottery ticket sales. And we'll talk about that Mega Millions jackpot a little bit later. For 1 year, they recorded how many tickets were sold per day for different types of lottery games in Missouri County and the recorded temperature on that day. On hotter days, sales of scratch tickets were typically lower, but sales for lotto tickets usually stayed the same. Scratch tickets require people to choose between a number of different choices, while lotto tickets require fewer decisions. So say you're lazier when it's hotter, and you just give me the printed ticket with the numbers.
I know we used to do a food booth that we did at fairs and stuff, and days when it was hot, we hardly sold anything. People don't eat outdoors when it's hot.
Nope.
That's true. Heat also decreases your productivity. Finnish researchers did a review of 24 different studies that dealt with temperatures and productivity. Many of the studies were completed in call centers and measured the speed of an employee's work at different workplace temperatures. The results found that on average, worker productivity decreased once the office temperature hit around 75. So even that kind of warm makes you just kind of uncomfortable, maybe?
75 is too warm for indoors.
What do you guys think the perfect temperature is?
I'm kind of a 72 kind of guy.
69 to 72. Anywhere in that range, I think, is acceptable.
I'm like 72 to 74 during the day, but at night, I set the AC on 69. I want to be cold and curl up in my blankie.
Yeah,
that is the best feeling. Mm-hmm. Even now, with me being freezing all the time, I have this like oversized heated pad that I put between my blankets. So I turn that on, and then I get snuggled in. Oh, it's nice.
Another reason why I make it cold is because if it's warm in the house, the cat sleeps by itself because it really doesn't like me. And if it's cold, the cat cuddles.
Aww. So you make it cold so the cat cuddles with you.
Yeah, so that she sleeps with me because I'm single and lonely.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That makes me sad that you have to trick Mooch.
All right, got to send thanks out, a shout out to Carrie, because you reminded me of the comment about the cat. Carrie yesterday sent me a message and said she was oh no, it was somebody else. It wasn't Carrie. Carrie sent me a message of a place to go next week on my vacation. But then I had another friend that sent, it was Melissa, sent prayers and positive energy for Mooch getting her radiation treatments next week. So.
Oh yeah, is that next week that's starting?
Yeah. You know, you got to be really committed to your cat to go ahead and pay for kitty chemo.
Dude.
You know, they become part of your family.
They do.
You know?
They do.
Cats are kids, too.
And it's a little different. It's actually radioactive iodine. They shoot her up, put her in a lead room for a week. And then it says like on the things that like post-op when I can finally pick her up after her radiation levels drop, it says don't be within 6 feet of the cat for 2 weeks. And I've got to drive home with the cat in the car for 3 hours. So
are they going to give you a lead cat carrier?
Yeah, I guess not. No. But I will be closer than 6 feet for quite a while.
What's in the box?
Your cat just went through something traumatic, and then you're going to bring it home and not be allowed to go near it for 2 weeks?
That's not going to happen. And, you know, after, coming up on, I think it's more than 35 years in radio, I can take the radiation, guaranteed. When we first started, the tower was on the building. It's still sitting there. We use it during emergencies. And I was underneath that tower sometimes 24 hours a day. So
now, weren't you saying that at night, even with the fluorescent lights turned off, they would still glow?
That's at an AM radio station that I worked at. Yeah, all the lights stay on even when you switch them off. I could tape at night if I wanted to do my rock show. I could just tape a fluorescent tube on the wall and it came on.
Nice.
Anywhere there was a wire flowing through the building, for some reason the RF really focuses on that, and very cool. Scary. All right, where did I leave off? Heat heightens tempers. 2013 study looked at more than 38 million tweets in the U.S. written during the month of April. Using a linguistics coding system, the researchers quantified how much negative and positive emotion a tweet reflected. In many southern states, such as Alabama and Georgia, the higher the humidity index, the more negative the tweets were. Angry people.
Ooh, heat does make you angry.
And you're right. Everybody says the average, best average temperature somewhere between 70 and 73 degrees. Very cool.
That's why when it's hot, I stay home because I don't want to deal with people.
Don't want to have an angry moment. All right.
Or have an angry moment directed at me.
Here's something for discussion. Dozens of former Republican and Democratic officials announced yesterday a new national political third party to appeal to millions of voters they say are dismayed with what they see as America's dysfunctional two-party system. Ain't that the truth? New party.
It is dysfunctional.
It is dysfunctional all the way around. New party called Forward and whose creation was first reported by Reuters, will initially be co-chaired by former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang and Christine Todd Whitman, the former Republican governor of New Jersey. They hope the party will become a viable alternative to Republican and Democratic parties that dominate U.S. politics. Party leaders will hold a series of events in 24 cities this autumn to roll out its platform and attract support. They will host an official launch in Houston on September 24th and the party's first national convention in a major U.S. city next summer. Now, the new party is being formed by a merger of three political groups that have emerged in recent years as a reaction to America's increasingly polarized and gridlocked political system. The leaders cited a Gallup poll last year showing a record two-thirds of Americans believe a third party is needed. Two-thirds of Americans. Merger involves the Renew America movement, formed in 2021 by dozens of former officials in the Republican administrations of Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump. Forward Party founded by Yang, who left the Democratic Party in 2021 and became an independent, and the Serve America movement, a group of Democrats, Republicans, and independents, whose executive director is former Republican Congressman David Jolly. Two pillars of the new party's platform are to reinvigorate a fair, flourishing economy and to give Americans more choices in elections, more confidence in government that works, and more say in our own future. The party, which is centrist, has no specific policies yet. It says it will, at its Thursday launch, how will we solve the big issues facing America? Not left, not right, but forward, the name of the party. Historically, third parties have failed to thrive in America's two-party system. Occasionally, they can impact a presidential election. Analysts say the Green Party's Ralph Nader siphoned off enough votes from Democrats during the presidential candidate Al Gore in 2000 helped Republican George W. Bush win the White House that year. It's unclear how the new Forward Party might impact either party's electoral prospects in such a deeply polarized country. Political analysts are skeptical if it can succeed. Public reaction on Twitter was swift by the Democrats, who expressed fear that the new party will siphon more votes away from Democrats. I think it could really go either way. So here's my question to you guys based on that. Go ahead, Chuck.
I think more so than anyone else, I heard a lot of Republicans say that, especially over Trump, they would have voted for Andrew Yang. I think he might actually get some crossover votes. So
I don't know.
That might work.
Know enough about him or whatever. So since you chimed in, we'll start with you. What would you like to see in a third party, Chuck? It's kind of tough to put you on the spot.
Well, I mean, I everyone knows I am very progressive, but the Democratic Party is so corrupt, and they force candidates down our throats that we don't want as progressives like Clinton and Biden, and somebody who's more transparent and would actually follow the will of what the party wants, which is my biggest problem with the Democratic Party is the heads, they do what they want, and they don't care about what the actual constituents want. So
that's a good one, Chuck. Very good.
Yeah.
Chuck, I kind of want to hug you now, Chuck.
No, I mean, there's no doubt, and that's one of the things that a misconception is people think we all love Clinton and Biden, and it's just not true. Biden was forced down our throats. Like, he was losing badly, and they all worked together to get him the nomination, and we all hate him because he's terrible.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me, and conspiracy theories aside, it's amazing to me that he won. It really is.
I mean, he didn't.
And I think the reason why he did win, it was just, and I could be wrong there, but because Trump doesn't get being a nice guy. The whole catch more flies with sugar. I think that hurt him. Otherwise, I think if he was a little more palatable in his mannerisms, he could have been a shoo-in against Biden, I think. But that's neither here nor there.
He goes a step above not catching him with sugar. He tries to fling poop at them and catch them.
Yes. To his own demise, which is kind of sad. All right, Alan, and that's what I love about this show is that we all get along, and typically, you're the odd man out because I lean a little left and Chuck leans more left. And then what I like to say is I lean left, but not so far I fall over.
Well, the funny thing is, if you look at traditional politics and politics around the world, the progressives in America, which are not represented by the Democratic Party, are actually a lot more centrist than people like to realize.
Alan, what would you like to see in a three-party system?
I would like to see them actually abide by the Constitution. You know, I would like to see them do stuff about lobbying. You know, get rid of that. I mean, look at Pfizer. They've got the biggest lobbyists on the planet. They have no repercussions for these vaccines that they're coming out with, and they're starting to see a lot of horrible side effects from them. You know, and they're not going to be held liable for that. I want to see a party that actually represents what the people want. You know, take it to a vote.
Well, you know, you mentioned lobbying, overturning Citizens United. That was the deal that gave corporations the same rights as citizens as far as lobbying for and contributing to political campaigns. And that's when things went off the rails. You know, when these massive companies were allowed to put unlimited amounts of funds into candidates.
Absolutely.
That really needs to be overturned. That was a disaster.
Absolutely. And I would like to see a party that's going to bring fresh blood to the table, new perspectives, new ways of doing things, more efficient ways of doing things. You know, instead of, I mean, you've got one side of the party, which I kind of agree with. The right wingers want less government, and I kind of agree with that. I think government's gotten too big for its britches. And then you've got the other side of the party, the left side of the party, that wants to govern everything. You know, let's meet in the middle. Let's start talking again. Let's bring America back to what it used to be, where you could sit down, have a debate, and find a solution.
That's one thing I've always enjoyed about your friendship. And when I was in Chihuahua, sneaking down to the carpet store and visiting with you, and so and you like to talk politics, but we never got mad at each other. Neither one of us ever left the room and just said, "Oh, you're an idiot" or anything like that. And a lot of times we could find points that we could agree on, and you don't see that much anymore. A lot of people just get inflamed.
You don't. Well, I mean, years ago, even when I was being brought up, you didn't talk politics. Your politics were your business, and that was it. But now we've got like social media and stuff where everybody has a bully pulpit, and they're throwing their ideas out there, and they don't understand the consequences of just throwing out something so ridiculous or so far left wing or so far right wing, and they have no idea the consequences something like that brings.
Well, and people, I think nowadays, they think opinion. I read this morning. It's in one of our bits and breaks. People, and I have to agree with it, people think opinion a lot of times is the fact, and it's not. It's your opinion. No. It's not a fact. I have to agree with both of you. I like both of the points that you're bringing up, and I especially hope that a new group would really seek out the term limits, like you're saying. Another thing, I think we have a minimum age to be president. What is it, 35?
We need a maximum age.
Huh? Yes, we need a maximum age too.
Yeah.
You know,
well, not only is, you know, people are getting, you know, late 70s, early 80s, their you know, their mental function is declining and their physical health is declining, and they have no connection at that age. Not that I'm not saying anything bad about seniors. I love them to death, but their understanding and connection of how people are living currently is skewed and off, and they have a hard time, I think, connecting with especially younger voters.
Well, and yeah, I'm good buddies with Mike Bentz on Wednesdays, and I just asked him as a friend, you know, because he was complaining about turning 72, I think it was, and I said, Mike, you're one of the smartest people I know. And do you feel at 72 you could be president of the United States? And he's like, "Oh God, no." You know, so I think there needs to be, you know, a maximum age as well. Maybe that's like 65 or something like that.
I mean, not only that, you should be enjoying your retirement. You know, I mean, it's one of the hardest jobs in the world. You know, and you should be enjoying yourself on a beach.
Millionaires.
Come right.
On. What is this retirement of which you speak?
Right. It's something rich people can do, Alan.
Yeah. Wow.
We won't get to experience that.
The 1% of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, I think term limits too is something that we could all get together on. I think almost 100% of voters and about 0% of Congress.
You know, I think with term limits, the age thing would kind of resolve itself. I mean, right now you've got a bunch of people running the show that have been involved in government for the last half a century.
Right. Whether they're your people or not, people don't need to have that much.
No,
power.
And when you've been in government that long, you do lose perspective of what the people want, because you quit looking at the polls because you know the polls are skewed, right? So you quit paying attention to all this stuff, and you lose touch with reality.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring back a form of the draft and make it be public service. You have to do some sort of public service maybe it's to get the right to vote. In order, some kind of public service in your life, and keep these politicians limited to 2 terms.
Yep.
All right, I think we dusted that one up pretty good. So, would you say overall, Alan, you feel like a third party could be a good thing?
I really don't know. I'm so cynical on the entire government process right now. I'm at the point where I believe that no matter what party it is, they're going to install who they want to be their figurehead.
That's what's been happening.
Yeah.
So.
And when the oil companies, OPEC and Pfizer and things like that, it feels like they are actually in control of our country, that they dictate how we live and what affects us. It's kind of scary when you think about when I was a kid and they used to talk about the gross domestic product of countries, and you'd have your top 10 leading gross domestic product, who was the richest country, basically broken down by their gross domestic product. And now on that list of the top 10, 5 of them are corporations that have more power than countries. That's scary. That's really scary. All right, Chuck, third-party system, Brent, yay or nay?
Yeah, absolutely. I've voted third party more than once in my life. I actually picked up when Ralph Nader was running for president in 2000. I actually picked him up from the airport because he was speaking in Anchorage, and I had a coffee shop at the time, and the Green Party used to have their monthly meetings in our coffee shop, and they were going to pick him up, and they had gotten this really sweet, like tricked out vintage Mercedes, that was all cherried out to go pick him up from the airport with. And not one of them had a valid driver's license. So they're all trying to figure out, okay, who's going to go pick Ralph Nader up from the airport? And nobody could do it. So I ended up doing it because I was the only one in the room with a valid driver's license.
What kind of green was this Green Party?
we did have a 20-foot tall cannabis leaf on the side of our coffee shop.
Oh, there we go.
And we had stained glass cannabis pot leaves as decorations on the windows.
Right. For a second there, when you said you went and picked up Ralph Nader, I thought for a second maybe you were on his speed dial for some reason.
No. We didn't speak much. He just got in the car, and I drove him to where he was going, and he got out, and he said, "Thank you very much." And I said, "Have a nice day."
When he said he picked up Ralph Nader, I pictured Chuck in a dress.
Right? Picked him up at the club.
Hey, Ralph. Hey.
All right. Check it in this morning on Facebook. Longtime buddy, went to broadcasting school together, local Chewelan. Matt Parrish says, good morning. And he named me by my college broadcast name, which was Screamin' Scott.
Oh. Also, I have Brandon Hansen here who wants to remind us that the heat also turns gingers into Gollum.
Did Freckles have anything else to say?
I'll bet he will in a second.
Okay.
He's probably hovered by the AC going,
my precious.
Yeah.
I don't know he's going to be listening. I sent him a link this morning to join us. All right. If you win the $1 billion Mega Millions jackpot, here's what you should know. All right. You guys are going to buy tickets? It's getting really big.
Oh, absolutely. Well, what do you get after taxes? Like $7?
No, you get $602 million, dude.
Oh, that'd do.
Yeah.
That'd do.
Let's see. What would you do with $1 billion? The already giant 810 million Mega Millions lottery ballooned to 1.2 billion or 1.02 billion after no one matched all 6 numbers on Tuesday night and won the top prize, claiming that that much money will also draw taxes, grifters, and family and friend members you don't want. All that attention means the first and most important piece of financial advice likely is what you should do if you hold the winning ticket is shut your mouth. Keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
If you lived in a place like this and you won the lottery and it got out, I think you'd have to move. Well, I think anywhere where you know people or people know you and you win that much money, you got to go.
All right, get organized, make a plan, consider staying anonymous if it's possible. Let's see. If paid the $1 billion prize is for winners who choose the annuity option paid annually over 30 years. Most winners opt for the cash option, which for the next drawing Friday night is estimated to be $602.5 million. The single chance of making all 6 numbers, roughly 1 in 303 million. Mega Millions tickets, which cost $2 each, sold in 45 states, plus the District of Columbia and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Why shouldn't you tell people? Man, because everybody out there today is a scammer. Everybody's trying to scam you for something.
Do not hire your favorite uncle to help you manage your money.
There's a new scam going out we should tell people, too. It's a UPS scam, where you get an email from UPS and it says they can't deliver your package because it was short on postage. Go send them another $3. And it's a UPS website spoof. Looks just like their website. And, yeah, it's only $3, but now they got your card number.
Yeah.
All right. So watch. It's a new one. They're everywhere.
I would hope we wouldn't have to warn people about that, but,
we do.
I have never...
People fall for all kinds of stuff.
Never in my life have I gotten anything from UPS that has been COD.
Yes.
Right.
It should be.
They don't do that.
Obvious.
That should be your first red flag right there.
It should be. All right.
The post office doesn't even do that anymore or anything, do they? I don't think
no, that's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
As far as I know. I mean, I imagine they probably could still do it.
I mean, I don't even do that for pizza anymore.
No.
All right. So
pay for it ahead of time.
Alan, you're on top today. What would you do if you won the $1 billion jackpot? What would a few things on your wish list be?
I would give a bunch of it to some of these veterans foundations that help veterans.
Good job.
Okay.
Chuck, what would you like to do? What was one of the first things you'd like to do? Be on your
I think the first thing we would do is set up some accounts for the kids. I just had the word in my head.
Like a trust fund?
Yeah, a trust fund. Thank you. That's what I couldn't remember. I'd set up a trust fund. Make sure all of our bills were paid off, do all the thing. I wouldn't want to go extravagant. I wouldn't want to buy a great big house, or expensive cars or anything. I might get, a new car for me and the kids, but, I'd save a bunch of it and find some, causes worthy of putting money into. I'd like to find out, which causes would make the most impact. Figure out what would be good I'd probably do something for the community, whether it was here or wherever I was living at the time. Yeah.
So here's the problem with poor people. They always want to help everybody.
Right? Because we know the struggle.
So if I had the $1 billion, the first thing I'd want to do was build a rocket to go to Mars. No.
I would buy gold coin and turn myself into a dragon and lay on it.
Nice.
No.
I like that. Or at least dress like one.
Yeah.
I'd always said when I lived in Chihuahua, if I won the lottery, what I would do is build a wellness center, because I always thought Chihuahua really needed one. So we didn't have to drive over the mountain pass. A place where people could go work out and swim and eat healthy and that kind of stuff, and just make it free.
I do know one splurgy thing I would do. I would probably be covered from head to toe in tattoos.
Oh.
Because I could afford them.
I would get
Chuck,
a house.
I think that's a good idea.
I would get a house.
Maybe
in
from the neck down.
Yeah.
I would get a house in Chihuahua so I could come back and visit whenever I wanted.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See, that'd be a good thing.
That'd be one of my splurges. All right. Switching gears.
I'd probably
here.
invest in some businesses too. Something to use that money to bring in more money.
Yeah. Yeah, because, $1 billion just ain't going to be enough if you live.
Well, not more money, but, it would provide employment, and it would, provide a future, because I know us, and we would, even if it was $1 billion, we would blow through it pretty quick.
I'd build 42 coffee shops with stained glass cannabis leaves in the windows.
That's right. I was 20. Come on.
What would Kim Jong-un build? He'd build more nuclear weapons, and he was threatening yesterday to use them against the U.S. and South Korea. I hate that guy.
He's always said that, though.
He's
not going to do it.
He says he's just doing it to defend himself because the United States demonizes him, and I think it's actually his haircut.
He deserves that, though.
All right, so you heard about Tony Dow from Leave It to Beaver and the fake death thing that he passed away going around the internet?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't real?
No, it wasn't real, but it shocked him so bad he did die last night. Serious.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
wow.
Serious. So he heard
2 days
it.
after the announcement was made.
Wow.
That's horrible. Yeah. All right, so
I saw Paul Sorvino too. That kind of made me sad. I always
really?
liked him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. They come in threes. You know what they say. So, all right. But all the stories I was reading about him, a really nice guy, and his family really distraught. But put some nice stuff about him online. He was 77, had a big heart attack. It says. Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor guy. Speaking of news headlines, I saw a news headline. This just blew me away. The curator of the Louvre Museum in France was arrested in part of an underground illegal art smuggling ring.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
I don't know if it was like the head curator. It said it was one of the curators of the Louvre Museum, but still, wow.
That's really got to be a really good job too. How greedy do you really need to be, people?
Right. I mean, that's
wow.
Yeah. I mean, you're dealing with priceless art and stuff. I mean, that's human history right there that's getting interfered with.
That's not nice.
Of course, maybe he was smuggling art that had been stolen by the Germans and he was trying to return it. I don't know. Who knows what actually happened? But
that's a really nice thought,
still.
but I doubt it's true, Chuck.
Yeah, probably not.
You run with that one, though. All right. I think, the last one news headline that I saw before we head for bits and breaks, guys, was just a guy from the National Association of Home Builders who says housing, which is a key segment of the national economy, looks extraordinarily weak right now. And history shows us that when the housing economy drops, we head into a recession. It's happened over and over and over. He described how a rapid decline in home building and demand for new homes could drag the national economy lower. That was a big story on Yahoo today. But, kind of scary, the economy. It says housing activity contributes between 15 to 18% of our GDP, that gross domestic product, every year. And a slowdown in this sector naturally pulls down the rest of the economy. So it's just more bad news for what's already been happening. So.
We have a Zillow addiction, and we're always looking at homes for sale every day. And there's been a last month or two, there's a lot of houses that you see the listings, and they're reducing the prices on houses now. So.
All right, so I'll start with the first bits and breaks then.
In the right direction.
This is for you, Chuck, my bit and break today. It's how to stop yourself from buying what you don't need.
I need it all, Scott. I need it all.
Moment before you make the final decision whether or not to make a questionable purchase, your money makes one last plea to stay in your wallet rather than be traded for something superfluous. A blog called Well-Heeled Deals has some tips on how to psych yourself out for making purchases that will lead to buyer's remorse. Here's some of their best advice. Force yourself to calculate how many hours you would have to work to make enough money to buy that. That's a good one. How many hours I had some employees sometime, and they were all working for minimum wage, and they'd go out and spend $15 on lunch. And minimum wage at that time was $7 an hour. And I said, "Do you realize you just worked 2 hours just to eat lunch?
Right.
Why don't you get some paper bags and make a sandwich? Because I can't pay you anymore." All right, make yourself wait 24 hours. Come back and see how bad you need the item.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a store here in Maine. It's called Marden's, and they're all over the place. And they're like a discount Walmart, but they're everywhere. It's seconds and what do you call them when another business sells off extra product? And their jingle is "Should have bought it at Marden's," and the spot's about like seeing it, not buying it, and coming back and they're out because it was everything's limited. Because it's a discount store, and that's their jingle is "Should have bought it at Martin." So we say that all the time. All right, run through your personal inventory and determine whether or not you already own something that's an apt substitute for your proposed purchase. Like if you're thinking about getting a house, Chuck, you already have a house. Yeah. All right. Ask yourself whether or not the money you'd be using could serve you better if put toward a different financial goal. All right. Just a few ideas. All right, for you guys, let's see. I think I had it worked out. I sent an extra one to Alan. So, Chuck, you're up first for Bits and Breaks and Tips from the Redneck Book of Manners with Chuck Richie.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Actually, I know a lot of very well-mannered rednecks. So.
Yeehaw!
Never take a beer to a job interview. I don't know. I guess I did once work for a liquor distributor, and that kind of behavior was encouraged.
How do I get that job?
Right? It was not as fun as it sounded, actually.
I never thought of myself as a redneck, but one time I went on a date with a really rich woman, and she totally thought I was a redneck. Just saying. All right, sorry.
I get a lot of flack for making fun of rednecks, but I myself am a former redneck, so it's like being a smoker. You can, I'm a former smoker too, and I can be harsher against smokers because I used to do it.
Because you was one.
Because I was one, yeah. I don't think that's true. I should just shut up. It's considered poor taste to take a cooler to church.
Alan.
What?
Is it? Like in the church or to church? So like, tailgate afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just well, I don't know.
That's okay.
It's church
it's okay if you're Catholic or Lutheran like me. You can have a beer cooler in the back.
The whole tailgating kind of stares at you when they hear the ice sloshing around as you're coming in the door.
Is tailgating at church a thing? I think if it's not, it should be.
Wow.
Bring out the barbecue in the church parking lot. I think it'd be fantastic.
I think it would increase attendance.
I think so. You'd have like full on college football style tailgates in the church parking lot.
Except for those religions that don't let you drink.
Right. Well, you don't have to drink. You could have, sodas and hot dogs and stuff.
So just tailgate.
See, I think tailgating is about the food, not the alcohol, but I'm probably in the minority there.
Right.
You're doing it wrong.
Then you're not tailgating, Chuck. Right.
Well, I don't drink, so I don't think about these things,
We can fix that.
If I've had plenty in my life, don't worry. If you have to vacuum the bed, it's time to change the sheets. Wow.
You don't have to vacuum the bed. You just pull up one corner and give it a shake.
Yeah, just and then you hear all the grit falling on the floor.
All the cracker crumbs.
Man. We stayed in bed when we had COVID. We stayed in bed for like the first week of it, solid. Just in bed, bottle of NyQuil in one hand, TV remote in the other.
But why did you YouTube the whole thing?
Why didn't I?
Why did you?
Oops, I forgot to turn it off.
Sorry.
Even if you are certain you're included in the will, it is considered tacky to drive a U-Haul to the funeral home. Ouch. Ouch. Avoid throwing bones and food scraps on the floor, as the restaurant may not have dogs.
If you're just tuning in, this is Redneck Manners. Okay.
Yeah. For years ago, we had one dog only, and that dog passed away. That began our collection of dogs. But after about 3 months, we realized that we could not function as a household without a dog because our floors were filthy.
Nice.
Well, we had two toddlers at the time, so it was like, okay, we need some dogs to sort of hover around the bottom of the high chairs.
Nice.
Always offer your bait. Always offer to bait your date's hook, especially on the first date. That's a good romantic gesture right there.
I'm like amazed at the amount of women in Maine on dating sites that have like pictures of them fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's like everybody here fishes. I don't even remember how.
I think we were talking earlier about things that can bring political divides together. I think fishing is a good one because I think fishing is bipartisan. I think everybody likes to fish. I do. When sending your wife down the road with a gas can, it is impolite to ask her to bring back beer. Is it though? I mean, she's already going to be there.
Well,
I'm thinking that's efficiency.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's going
to. Are you going to make her walk back again afterwards to get more beer? No.
Plus, have you ever done that? A 5-gallon gas can in one hand really throws you off balance, and then you have to switch it back and forth because your arm gets tired. So if you've got if she's got a 24 pack in one hand and a gas can in the other, she's a well balanced woman.
That is just smart. That's just smart thinking right there.
Thank you.
You gotta figure out these logistics when you're doing these things.
Yeah. Alan's not saying anything, but he's turning awful red.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right, couple more.
Never relieve yourself from a moving vehicle, especially when driving.
Never even tried that.
I can't. I'm not gonna speak to that one.
Okay.
That has happened. Do not lay rubber while traveling in a funeral procession.
Oh. Now, I was a part of one of the biggest funeral processions I've ever seen, and everybody was doing that because my buddy that passed away was a biker. So it was like all Harleys, and they were going up to a cemetery out on Sunset, and the procession that left from Monroe, where the big I can't think of the proper term for it, but the big funeral home there on Monroe, right before you drop down the hill into downtown on the left, the really old one with the pillars and stuff. It was there, and it was like a rock concert. There was people circled around the building because there wasn't enough room inside, and that's a big place. And then the procession, when it left, it held up traffic for an hour and a half in Spokane. It was crazy.
Wow.
He was well loved.
That's cool.
Right.
That was my first thought. It was like, well, what if they were a biker, or what if they were a racer, or
then
or a car enthusiast.
Yeah,
yeah.
Burn-offs are appropriate. All right, it's Alan Milani pinching those pennies for us. Some things you probably don't know about money.
Yeah, probably things I didn't know either. 1 out of every 4 Americans believe their best chance of getting rich is by playing the lottery.
It's mine.
I mean, that's realistic for most of us.
I think so.
Sad.
5% of lottery ticket buyers buy 51% of all tickets sold.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Into it.
Researchers say more of our fantasies are about money than sex.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I disagree.
Well, they do say money can't buy love, but in most places that's not exactly true.
Not true.
It can in Vegas.
Exactly, for one night at a time.
90% of Americans who own pets buy them Christmas gifts.
Yes.
I'm happy to see that number. I think that's a good number.
That's appropriate.
That's respectable.
Money is the leading cause of disagreements in marriages.
I would say always.
All marriages?
I would usually.
I would say not paying attention to what my wife says.
Ooh, yeah, that's
the number one.
That's a biggie.
Yeah.
I would say I can't remember, and that's why I'm willing to get married again.
Let's see, 65% of Americans would live on a deserted island all by themselves for an entire year for $1 million.
Well, who wouldn't?
You know, I think you might have to up that price tag a little bit more these days. $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to.
No. It's only
but it's more than most of us would make in a normal year.
This is true.
And it would allow you to live for a couple of years,
True.
It is to the point though where $1 million, while it would be amazing to have, it's not really life-changing money anymore.
No.
When we were kids, it was like $1 million you could retire, but $1 million now, you might get 4, maybe squeak 5 years out of it, living a pretty decent life.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to go back to work again.
Agreed. For $10 million, most of us would do almost anything, including abandoning our family and friends and our church. A very high percentage of us would, for that same amount of money, change our race or sex. Most of these changes would still happen, even if the amount were $3 million. But few of us would do these things for a measly $2 million.
I wouldn't abandon my friends and family. No. 10 million? Okay. Now that I thought about it.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't. It depends. Extended family? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my kids and my wife? No.
No, not a chance.
Yeah, that's right.
No, not even. I wouldn't even consider it.
And I certainly wouldn't change my sex.
If I could run away with my wife and my children and have it be all the rest of the family, then maybe.
All right.
92% of us would rather be rich than find the love of our lives. That's kind of a sad statement.
It is. You know, I'm gonna say I've been poor and rich again and poor again, and I'd just as soon be happy than have money. Because money, what I've found so far in 56 years is money never makes you happy.
Never, ever.
But it does make things less stressful.
Yeah, I mean it's fleeting. You get the new car and you're all excited about it, but it's fleeting. That joy for that money can give you is fleeting.
Right.
I've never really cared about being rich. I just want to be able to, pay the bills and have enough left over to do something fun afterwards.
And not stress.
And not have to worry about, am I going to be able to pay those bills next month? I think that's the goal right there. Oh, and to be able to hire a housekeeper. That's the definition of success right there.
Right. Nice. People tip more on sunny days than they do on dreary days.
That's because you're happy, right?
That's right.
I can see that. I can see that.
All right. We're talking about money, and we've brought up cars already this morning. So what kind of car is right for you based on your astrological sign? Alan, what is your sign?
I am a Libra.
You are a Libra. You love to socialize and always have a car full of folks. Find a car or SUV with plenty of room for all your friends. Is that kind of realistic for you?
The socializing part, I can take it or leave it.
Okay. All right. Chuck, what sign are you?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo, you're practical and pride yourself on smart choices. Mr. Prius.
Exactly.
Other cars that would fit Chuck.
Who's laughing now?
Other cars that would fit Chuck would be a Subaru or a Volvo station wagon, where you can have safety plus compact styling.
I have had a Subaru, and I really, really do like the Volvo station wagons. I would like to have one.
I will say one nice thing about Chuck's Prius. It doesn't have to plug it in.
No.
That's true.
And that's a good thing.
That's true. What keeps the battery charged?
The motor, the engine.
The engine going around?
Yeah, I mean, it runs primarily on gas. It has the electric. The electric in those cars are meant to supplement the gas, not the other way around.
All right.
So they run primarily on gas, and then it's in town. It's mostly like, it stops at stop signs, stoplights, and so it's not sitting there idling while you're not driving.
Right.
It does have an electric mode, but it doesn't really do much.
W. Chihuahua, thanks for listening this morning. For me, as a Gemini, it's exactly me. It says, and I've had these, Geminis will get a big truck or a little sports car. Me personally, I like to have both. It's the twins thing, right? I want the big truck and I want the little sports car.
I don't know about Alan, but I think our two were pretty spot on.
Let's see. Stubborn people, those Tauruses, the bulls, they like dependable, comfortable vehicles for most of their traveling. Choose a new or a used luxury car with plenty of space if you're a Taurus. Let's see. Angry Scorpios, don't they kind of get the reputation of being a little angry?
Ooh, my wife is a Scorpio. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Don't want to get you in trouble.
No, that's accurate.
Sorry. I didn't say
that's
that.
That's accurate.
Okay. She's going to come walking through and hit you in the back of the head.
And anyone who knows my wife knows she can be a little fiery.
All right. Although I might have said they can be a little fiery, it is also the sexiest sign of the zodiac, the Scorpio. Scorpios like to reveal their trendy personalities with cars they drive. Find an attention-getting sports car if you're a Scorpio. Let's see. Capricorns are thrifty. They want a dependable car that came at a bargain price, so they probably already drive an ordinary car that's plain in color if you're a Capricorn. The fishy people, those Aquarius, or is that Pisces? No, that's Pisces. What's a Pisces get? Wow. There they are. They like a steady car with a smooth ride. Typical Pisces won't go for a flashy car. Aquarius is always looking toward the future. Their car will be sleek, maybe an eye-grabbing purple or turquoise shade. All right, that's the end of that, and I think we're back to Alan. I sent you one, didn't I?
Yes, you did, sir.
All
right. So it's all about strange superstitions, and these all come from Reddit. They asked their readers to share their strange superstitions. Some of the responses were... one user says, one that comes to mind for me is that when I fly, I always try to touch the outside of the airplane when I'm boarding.
Fair enough.
Another user says, when I'm eating potato chips, I always eat the crumbs and little pieces first, saving the bigger chips for last.
Weird. You know what my family likes to do, the kids especially? They like to crunch, like they take the bag and they go crunch, 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 and turn the whole thing into crumbs before they eat the chips, and it drives me insane.
Weird.
Wow, that is kind of weird.
Insane. They don't like big chips. They like little ones, and
I only do that if I'm going to put my Doritos in a bowl and pour milk over them. Doritos and milk, nacho cheese Doritos and milk, best thing on the planet. Just saying.
You know, they do that with sour cream. They'll take potato chips and crunch them all up and like take a little bowl with some sour cream in it and then put the chips in there and then eat it like
a food.
Like a parfait.
Yeah. I like that.
Wow. Another user says, I never finish the bottom inch of a bottle of beer.
It's mostly saliva anyway.
Well, by the time you get down there, it's all warm and
Ew.
Another user says, when I lock my car with the remote, I have to hear it beep twice in quick succession. If there's too long between both beeps, I have to double lock again until it sounds right. He sounds more like obsessive compulsive behaviors.
Yes.
Yeah, like I have to go back to my front door and check it 10 times before I leave the house. Yeah. I do not. I'm just saying that's a thing.
I do. I covered that yesterday.
I think you do.
Yeah.
If someone sneezes while I'm heading out, I wait for the second one. If there is none, I wait for 5 minutes before heading out.
Wow.
That's weird.
That is strange.
Right?
I do love a good sneeze, though.
Yeah, sneezes are healthy. Well,
they're satisfying.
You sneeze on somebody else. That's not so healthy. But another user says, whenever I power lock or remote lock my car, I have to walk around and check all the doors just to make sure they're locked.
This is OCD.
This is 100% OCD. I raise my feet when driving over train tracks. I don't do it over train tracks. I do it over cattle guards, though.
I only do it when I'm driving my Flintstones car.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to get your toes stuck in there. Right?
Yeah.
Another user says, I still hold my breath as I drive past cemeteries.
Don't want the dead in you.
That one sounds like a superstition. Another user says, I always smell the inside of a cup before I put whatever I'm going to put in it.
Yes. Thank you.
That's a thing?
I smell everything. I get teased relentlessly, but everything before I use it, a dish, my phone, I don't care what it is, I smell it before I use it.
What about
a weird thing.
What about shoes and underwear?
Oh. No. Okay, not everything. Not everything. How about that?
Okay, let's clarify.
Wow.
And if it's something that I'm going to consume or something touching something I'm going to consume, then yes, I will.
All of a sudden, I'm the weird one again.
You know, I got to tell you, in the last couple of years that we've been doing this show, Scott.
Yeah.
Between you and Chuck, I have found out a lot of intimate details about you guys.
Yeah, I'm also an oversharer. It's something my family complains about a lot.
Another user says, when I'm going under an overpass in the rain, I say stop as I enter and go as I exit, as if I had control over the rain. This blows the minds of small children, but I do it even when I'm alone in the car. Anything to feel like you're in control.
Yes.
Another user says, I tap my head when an ambulance drives by. I don't understand that one.
That's weird, too.
My superstition is I like to put on my brakes and pull over along the side of the road as they pass by.
Yeah, that's a good superstition to have.
It's amazing how many people don't.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane how many people don't.
Like, pull over.
And then finally, a user said, I kiss and put my thumb to the roof of a car when I pass a vehicle with one headlight.
I kind of prefer the thing where you slug the person next to you for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was just going to say that. Yeah. That's for passing a bug, though.
All right. One more. Chuck, the absolute worst thing since it's summertime that happened at weddings. Ooh. And then on to trivia.
Okay. Let me move my Zoom meeting out of the way here. Okay. On Reddit, people shared the worst. This is people on Reddit sharing the worst things that have happened on their wedding. This one person says, I officiated a wedding where the bride's grandfather died in the bathroom minutes before the ceremony was supposed to start. Yikes. I ended up doing chest compressions until EMS arrived, and then rolled up to officiate and tell my silly little jokes while the family actively repressed their emotions because they did not tell the bride.
Ooh, probably a good
Wow.
call. Yeah.
You know, I saw a story the other day related to this. A young couple at their grandfather's funeral decided to, since all the family was there, decided to surprise everyone at the funeral with a surprise wedding ceremony that was unannounced and unplanned.
Weird.
The family apparently was not happy about this activity.
Wow.
Yeah. The next one here, I got married after hours. I got married hours after I found out he had cheated on me with another woman. Yikes. Because at that point I felt like, I mean, what do I do? Not getting married is the correct answer, but she did anyway.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yikes. I would not go through with that.
No.
Depending on some people are okay with that. I would not be.
No.
My mother-in-law wanted to see my wedding lingerie to make sure she approved of it.
Ooh,
weird.
I'm getting a heavy, creepy vibe again.
That is none of your business, mother-in-law, but my weird mother is the type of thing she would do. A squirrel started eating the cake before the wedding even started.
Oh, that's good.
Ouch, 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 ouch. You know, I worked for a long time in catering, in hotels and stuff, and you'd be surprised how many times, usually it's a child or a drunk uncle or something that will reach their hand in the cake and take a swipe before the wedding starts. It happens fairly often, and it always angers everybody. I had previously discussed how demeaning I found the cake smash. I kind of agree. Groom agreed with me and then did it anyway. I spent part of a reception in the bathroom crying and certain I just made the worst mistake of my life. I was right.
Huh. No signs before the wedding? Come on.
Right?
Love is blind.
We did a nicely cut square and fed them to each other gently. We did not do the cake smash.
Aww.
Yeah, we didn't want to get our clothes dirty. Our photographers were a husband and wife team that loudly fought the entire day.
I saw that once at a kid's birthday party. They had hired a clown, and she was not a good clown, and she brought her 12-year-old daughter, and that was her assistant, and she scolded her daughter the entire performance.
Oh no!
In front of all these little kids sitting on the ground watching. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, the next one. My mom got blackout drunk and passed out in the bathroom. Yikes. My boss had to carry her out, and I mentioned it to her a few weeks later. She had no idea that it happened.
Good job,
Similar to my best man at my wedding.
Ah.
Who attended our wedding with a broken jaw that I had given him the night before.
Wow.
Nice.
Only person in my life I have ever punched in the face was my best man at our bachelor party, and I broke his jaw.
I was a best man, and the groom was so drunk he could hardly stand up because he really didn't want to get married. And I was a horrible best man because in my suit pocket, I had 2 tickets to Reno.
Oh.
And the entire time I was convincing him, let's just go to the airport. I had 2 tickets. I didn't want him to get married either. I really didn't. I knew it wasn't going to work out. So I kept trying to convince him, let's just go to the airport and fly to Reno. I got 2 tickets. Come on, let's go. And he wouldn't. He ended up marrying her. And then the next day, instead of going on his honeymoon with her, we went to Reno.
Oh,
that was going to be my next question is, did it last? And I guess not.
No, it did not.
Wow. Wow.
So that's always his big joke is he says he spent his honeymoon with me. All right, last one, Chuck.
Oh, my photographer got drunk and stoned. All of our wedding photos are orange and blurry. We made our photo album courtesy of the photos from a good friend who had good camera and great skills.
Ooh,
excellent.
Saved it. Totally saved it, didn't he?
We didn't hire a photographer for ours. We put like those disposable cameras on every table and just, asked everyone afterwards, like, hey, send us your photos.
Nice.
Do it.
We did have a friend who hired as a gift for us. He hired a videographer who never gave us our videos, and instead, because we had sort of a pagan, like a traditional Celtic hand fasting ceremony in the woods, It was not a Christian ceremony, and the videographer was offended by that and refused to edit our videos and return them to us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't right.
After he had been paid.
Oh, that's double even not right.
I'd have taken him to court.
The videographer was also a childhood friend of mine.
Oh.
I would have set him on fire. No.
Right.
I don't know. Just throwing that out there as a thing.
You know, we almost burst everybody into flames with the ceremony itself.
It's a real pagan ceremony, huh?
My father-in-law decided to turn it. He was going to take it upon himself to do a sermon during it.
Closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Immediately.
All right, sorry about that, Chuck. I think I fired it off while you were talking.
No, I was blabbing on anyway.
We've all been blabbing on this morning. We're running a little late, so we're going to just do a few trivia questions and then go to break. First one, in the U.S., one of these is implanted every 2.5 minutes.
A tracking chip.
No,
a mind control device.
That is good, too, but no.
A tree.
No.
A test tube baby.
No.
We're all over the board today.
You are. One of these gets implanted in someone every 2.5 minutes.
A pacemaker.
Yes, and I'm going to give it both to you there. What an awesome tie. All right. According to researchers and doctors, this is the most widely consumed drug in the world. I didn't even
know.
No.
Crack. Ibuprofen.
I had no idea this was even a drug.
Wow.
It's called life sustenance to me.
Alcohol?
No, that would not be life sustenance to me.
Caffeine.
Caffeine is life sustenance to Scott. Yes, definitely caffeine.
Caffeine.
All right.
I have quit caffeine.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My 10 cup a day coffee habit has gone down to 0.
Wow. I don't even know you anymore.
I know. I do if I'm going on if I'm like driving to Spokane or so, I'll stop and get a cup of coffee on the way. I'm not completely quit, but it's not a daily thing anymore.
All right. A survey asked husbands the number one thing they would change about their wives. What was it?
Nothing.
I'm not going to answer. Mm-mm.
What was it?
It was that they wish they could be less awesome.
No, that is not the answer.
That's my answer, of course.
I'll take any of them. I got
Hi,
number 1. I've got number 2. I've got number 3.
I would not change a thing. I'm not going to venture there and
you
answer
guys,
this.
Where is my chicken sound effect?
Okay,
Wow.
okay. You know what?
The chickens have come home to roost on KCHW.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say nagging.
Nagging is number 1. Good job,
I'm gonna
Chuck.
say nagging.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Come on, you know they nag. Come on.
My wife never nags. Never.
I bet Brenda nags the heck out of you, Alan.
No, not really. Not really.
She gonna kill me for saying that?
To her defense, I do deserve it quite often.
I would agree with that.
She generally has to ask me about 20 times to do something before I actually do it.
She have to remind you. How many times she have to remind you the morning show's on Thursday?
Rarely, actually. Actually, yeah. I'm pretty good about that.
Because she can't remember either.
No, she can't.
All right. Maybe I just picked the wrong woman because I was always nagged. Nagging was number 1 with 24% of responses, but 26% of husbands said they'd change nothing. There you guys go. Good job.
There we go.
All right.
So we were right with nothing.
After nagging came a lack of spontaneity. Ooh.
Oh, that is a big one. That's a good one there.
Followed by her sexual appetite. Who's going to complain about that? Okay. And then lastly, her domestic habits, in case you got one that doesn't like to clean.
That's my job.
Survey found that liver is the most hated food. What's second?
Ooh.
Anchovies?
No. I'm really surprised by this. It is a legume.
Really?
Yeah.
Like peanuts?
Hummus?
Nope.
Peanuts are legumes,
Isn't
right?
a legume a type of bean?
It's a bean.
Yes. So the second thing on the list is a type of bean.
I love all beans.
Kidney beans?
No.
Yeah, so legumes are like chickpeas, red kidney beans, black-eyed peas, peanuts, green spice peas, yellow peas, lentils, etc.
I'm going to say chickpeas.
I love all of those.
Now, this is going to be a tough one to guess. I'm looking for the lima bean, which I would have to agree with. Yeah,
I love lima beans.
Roughly 325 people in the United States die each year because of what mode of transportation?
Bicycles.
I was going to go with skateboard.
No. Roughly 325 people, so a low number, die each year because of what mode of transportation?
Motorcycles?
No. Think of the movie.
I think
buses.
No.
Trains.
Trains, yes. That includes collisions, derailments, and getting ran over. Why am I laughing at that? It's not funny. What kind of? All right. One part symbolizes hope, one faith, another love, and another luck. What is it?
What is the clada?
The what?
Clada.
Clada ring.
Yeah.
No. One part symbolizes hope, one faith, another love, and another luck. What is it?
Oh, four-leaf clover.
Yes. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover. Good job, Chuck. I think Chuck is our winner today because we're going to stop.
Of course he is.
Right,
I was going with Celtic. I was thinking Celtic, but yeah.
All right, when we come back, we'll have local birthdays for today because Alan's got that calendar. And then we'll wrap up today's show with a little odd news for you. Stick around. It's Northern Lights Public Radio, and we will be right back.
Programming made possible by donations from the following.
At New Health, we provide exceptional medical and dental care to the residents of Stevens, Pend Oreille, and Ferry counties. With clinics in Northport, Ione, Colville, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Springdale, and 9 Mile Falls, our care teams are here to support you on your health journey. We offer in-person visits, curbside care, and telehealth visits, as well as curbside pharmacy pickup and medication mailing options. Curbside COVID-19 tests and vaccinations are also available. New patients are welcome, and most insurance plans are accepted, including Medicare, Apple Health Plans, TRICARE, and private insurance. Contact New Health at 509-935-6004. That number again is 509-935-6004 to schedule today, or visit our website at newhealth.org for more information. New Health, bringing healthcare to communities and communities into healthcare since 1978.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, this is the news from rural America. Jobs in wind and solar rank among the top 5 fastest growing careers this decade, and a Nebraska college wants its students to be ready. Taylor Schneider teaches energy technology at Central Community College in Hastings. He says students learn the latest about solar, wind, and battery storage technologies, and even climb the wind turbine tower that generates the school's electricity.
Instead of instructor, just death by PowerPoint, so to speak, my students are getting that full experience.
Kevin Taylor with the World Wildlife Fund says in 2021, wind technicians brought home a median annual income of just over $52,000 per year.
It's just an amazing time for young people to get involved.
A new study explores barriers that rural LGBTQ communities face in getting quality health care. Yasmin Sadi has more.
Zachary Ramsey, doctoral candidate at West Virginia University and author of a recent study for the Journal of Gay and Lesbian Social Services, says discrimination frequently starts with false assumptions.
You get a lot of providers who just assume heteronormativity. You come in for some issue, maybe your regular checkup, and they assume, oh, she is a cisgender heterosexual woman.
Ramsey wants doctors to take a different approach. Being thoughtful about the kind of questions asked can help patients feel more comfortable sharing personal information.
Ask the questions, are you seeing somebody, not do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend?
And complications arise when insurance companies no longer cover prescriptions or surgeries when a patient has a different gender than their previous medical records indicate. In places where healthcare options are limited, Ramsey says the most attainable first step for rural health providers is sensitivity training, learning that people are more complicated than their charts. I'm Yasmin Sadi.
Radio farm reports used to be as common as baking bread. Not so much these days.
I don't think there's but maybe one other farm show in the whole state.
Patrick Kirscher is Roosevelt County, New Mexico's extension agent. He's a weekly guest on the award-winning Field and Farm Report, KSEL-FM Portales. He loves being stopped on the street by listeners who appreciate hearing local and national agriculture issues discussed on the radio.
I guess the thing that has been the most intriguing about doing it all these years now is the number of people that will say, boy, I heard you on the show Friday morning, really like that. Man, I look forward to hearing you every Friday morning.
Friday Mornings with the County Agent has won a Small Market Radio Award from the State Broadcasters Association 3 years running. For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, I'm Roz Brown. For more rural stories, visit dailyyonder.com.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. It is 8:38. Running long to Guys' Day. We had lots of great discussions. All right, going to wrap up
I was
the show.
beginning to wonder if I was going to be the only one back, finish up the show by myself.
Oh, no, yeah.
It took a minute.
All right. Let's see. I played short news, so nobody, I think, was ready for it. Let's see. We're going to start off with some local birthdays if we have them, Al Milani.
We do. Today we have Terry Rancourt, Maddie Rooker, and David Poto all celebrating birthdays. And for anniversaries, we have Walt and Chris Carpenter and Evan and Amanda Shalak.
Oh, wow. All sorts of famous Chewila people. You know, we love them. Tell them we were talking about them on the radio. Don't tell them what we said, though. All right, celebrity birthdays with Chuck Richie.
Okay. This one actually warms my heart a little bit. Cartoonist Jim Davis, who's creator of Garfield Comics, is 77 years old. Got me through most of my childhood.
Lasagna.
Right? Sally Struthers from All in the Family is 75. She always sounds like she's crying, doesn't she, every time she speaks?
Yes.
Yeah. Always sounds like she's about to cry. CBS News journalist Scott Pelley is 65. Lori Laughlin from 90210 and Full House is 58.
And she's got a honey of an ankle bracelet.
Right? Happy birthday. Did she get a new one with like some like it's been bedazzled or something for her birthday?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all rhinestoned out.
UFC President Dana White is 53. Elizabeth Berkley is 50. John David Washington from Tenet and the Black Klansman movie is 38. And John Michael Hill from Elementary is 37.
I want to know how Elizabeth Berkley goes from Saved by the Bell to Showgirls.
Desperation to save a failing career. Oh, did I say that out loud?
You did.
Wow.
You did.
Wow, man.
Wow.
And then it did not save her career. It was the final nail in the coffin,
Yes.
I believe.
Let's
The movie
do
was
some
so bad.
Let's do some history. And we're starting off in 1866, where Beatrix Potter, who was born in England in 1894. How does that work? In 1866. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I put two sentences together. She was born in England. Then, in 1894, in a letter to a critically ill child, she told a story of 4 little rabbits, Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. The story, since published in 17 languages, was inspired by her own pet rabbit, Benjamin Bouncer.
That's a cute name.
It is. 1945, U.S. Army B-25 bomber accidentally crashed in the 79th floor of the Empire State Building. 14 people were injured during that. Crazy. Let's see. 1996, Dr. Jochen Hewer of Lübeck, Germany, not only performed a successful kidney transplant operation, but also provided his own kidney for the transplant. Yes, it was 1996.
Wow. Did he remove his own kidney?
Oh, that'd be awesome, but I don't think so. He just donated it. That'd be really something for the history books. 1998, Chandler, Arizona, 4 witnesses lifted a 2,400-pound car high enough for a 13-year-old boy trapped under it to crawl clear. Abram Villa suffered severe cuts and bruises when the auto hit his bicycle and drug him several feet, but he lived.
Okay.
All right, to 2002, an Indian dairy firm began marketing instant holy cow dung to help urban Hindus perform their rituals properly. Hindus sanctify places of worship by sprinkling them with a mixture of cow dung and water before conducting rituals. The packaged cow dung is sold in cities where cattle are scarce. And it's both what you're getting for your birthdays this year.
Thanks,
buddy. Is it like freeze dried or is it, I wonder if it's like an artificial substitute?
Oh, no, it's the real deal. You couldn't do that
because
you're using it for rituals. And in fact, on the package, it's stamped fresh.
Well, Catholics use wine instead of blood. If they wanted to be real, they should just use blood.
All righty then.
Wow.
2009, the Senate Judiciary Committee approved Sonia Sotomayor to be the first Hispanic justice on the Supreme Court. 2016, the earliest evidence of cancer was found in a 1.7-million-year-old toe fossil from Swartkrans Cave, South Africa. Toe fossil. That's what I hope to leave behind. Just a toe.
Just a toe.
Wasn't it cancer in his toe? Isn't that what took up Bob Marley?
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm going to trust you because you're a trivia guru.
Yeah.
No, I think he was shot. Was he not?
Oh.
No, it was cancer, but I think it started in his toe from a soccer injury.
Huh.
He was an avid soccer player.
No, that was his song, I Shot the Sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Longest blood moon was 2018. Eclipse of the 21st century lasted 1 hour and 43 minutes. All right, longest one of the 21st century. Special events today. Back to Chuck Richie.
Okay. Today is, there's a lot of similar ones today. It's Chili Dog Day. It's Hamburger Day. It is Intern Day. Are we considered interns, or are we just?
Yes, you are my interns.
We are not interns.
I love my interns.
Interns would imply that we do work that is actually helpful.
Oh, yeah. Not interns.
We do not.
And if you learned anything today, it won't be the truth.
Exactly. It is Milk Chocolate Day.
Okay.
It is Water Park Day. I wish it'd be nice to have a water park nearby, but we don't. It is World Hepatitis Day.
We've all got it.
Right? For those of you that want to go to the water park and share everything with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is World Nature Conservation Day.
All right. You know, I'm going to admit something on the radio that I probably shouldn't, and people think it's very un-American of me. I hate chili.
Okay.
Hate it.
That's it. I can't do the show anymore.
And the idea of putting chili on a hot dog, which I find equally disgusting, is just, it's wrong. It's just, I mean, it's two of the nastiest foods you could want to eat. I will say, though, that like in chili cook-offs and stuff, I have tasted a couple that were good, but far and few between.
Well, so much for that tailgate party that I was planning.
Yeah. So if you think you've got some world-class chili, go ahead and send it to me in a box. Care of Box, Maine, Lincoln, Maine, 04457.
I just wonder. I've actually judged a couple of chili cook-offs, and I've seen them and then eaten other people's chili. And there's this. I love a good spicy meal, but there's like this thing where it's like to try to make it as hot as possible, as spicy as possible, to the point to where it's completely inedible. And I don't understand that.
Does anybody else hear a turn signal?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, you know what? That is an alarm going off on the other side of the room.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Well,
what is that noise?
Well, Chuck turns off his turn signal. Alan Milani with the number of the day.
Yeah, I thought we were playing What's Happening in Chuck's Room Today.
I knew it was the bathroom. I knew it was the bathroom.
Right?
See, look at it. It looks just like a bathroom.
It does look like a bathroom. The number for the day is 2.2 million.
Okay.
And that happens to be the number of Americans with mental illness who were booked into jail in 2021.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. How do you prove those numbers? All right. Let's see. We are looking at 8:45, and Mr. Milani is the only one with a job. So we better wrap it up here with some odd news.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Wrapping it up with the crazies. Part of those, and I'm sure some of these are some of those people that have mental illness and have went to jail.
You know what? Sure. I do have a job today. I have to install my dishwasher and organize my plastic storage containers.
That's
so
not a job, Chuck.
Don't tell me I don't work, Scott.
Okay, I won't tell you don't work, but that's not a job.
Oh, okay.
All right. Are you getting paid for it in some way?
Sure. Satisfaction of a job well done.
A little pat on the back from Laura?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need. Pat on the back. All right, news attack. And Chuck, why don't you start off because you're on the top of the pile of goofy guys.
Okay. In case you're wondering what space smells like, I would actually like to know what space smells like. A former astronaut says it has the aroma of seared steak, hot metal, and welding fumes. My question is, where can I get a candle that smells like that?
Now, if you were to get a whiff of space, wouldn't you die? Because you'd have like over your helmet. So
not in the first couple seconds.
It smells like.
You could get enough to get a whiff and then, possibly survive under the right circumstances.
I don't think so. Right. So if you're in your spacesuit, this is what space smells like.
That's a lot of space.
Just saying. All right, Al.
That or recycled urine.
Yes.
A study found that heavyweight kids are more likely to suffer injuries than normal weight kids. Come on. How in shape do you have to be to lift a can of Pringles?
I like the fact that that the story actually said fat kids, and Alan wouldn't say it.
I was actually gonna thank you for that, Alan. I
Nice
appreciate
guy.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, that is nice.
Wait a minute, I said it.
And then Scott just went ahead and blurted it out anyway.
Yeah, he did.
Because I was a fat kid. Wait a minute, I'm still a fat kid.
There was a time where I had to buy the Husky jeans from Sears.
Oh, nice. Husky.
For the first time in my life, I get to say I'm not a fat kid.
Oh, yay, Chuck.
Yeah.
All right, researchers are studying the lint in Chuck's belly button. Leave mine alone. I'm saving it for a sweater. Should have had a better punchline, shouldn't I?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah, back.
Can you wash that lint before you use it?
You can save it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's you, Chuck.
A famous British environmental scientist died on his 103rd birthday. Yikes! Yeah, he probably overdid it trying to blow out all those candles. I hope his family's not listening.
Did they have a burn permit?
No.
So, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
And it's you, Alan. Come on.
Yeah. After what? Is this the same one? After announcing he died, then didn't die, the family of Leave It to Beaver star Tony Dow says he has definitely died. Yeah, there's no punchline there.
No. Except you can't wait to see how the date is displayed on his headstone?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that that's all that funny.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Yeah.
Research-
Yeah, he's definitely gone now.
Yeah. Researchers say the ideal bedroom temperature for sleeping now is 67 degrees.
Wow.
Oh, that's my favorite temperature in the home and probably why I nod off during Zoom meetings.
I've nodded off at least twice during this show.
Back to you, Chuck.
North Dakota has the most bars per person. Let's drink to that.
Yeah, North Dakota.
Buddy.
It's my home state where I was born. And in fact, you might not know this. I don't know if any other states do this. I was in North Dakota. My nephews took me out to the bar, and I'd had a few, and all of a sudden they did last call. And I looked at my watch, and it was 1:45. And I was like, because, bars in Washington can stay open until 2. And it was a busy place. And I start getting all upset that the bar's closing. They said, it's okay. See that window right there as you're like going out the door? And I said, yeah. And they go, that's the liquor store. And I'm serious, man. You're walking out the bar and the line's going really slow because everybody's stopping under a window and getting a bottle for the road. And then you're out in the parking lot and you see people cracking those open. Welcome to North Dakota. Make sure
There's
you
your
got
tailgating party.
airbags.
My hometown of Wasilla, Alaska, the bars stay open until 5 a.m. and they stay packed until 5 a.m. on the dot, and they have to kick everybody out every night.
Wow.
And they open back up at 6.
Yeah.
They open back up, I think 10.
Okay.
Is when they open back up. And there's usually a line at the door waiting for the bars to reopen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Last one is all Milani.
All right. It's about to get costlier to take out a mortgage or an auto or business loan. I'll only be worried when Costco's $5 rotisserie chicken goes up.
Already has.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
Oh, man.
They're what are the chicken pockets? Those went up too, I think, didn't they?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. Say it isn't so, Chuck.
The worst part is they stopped with the Polish sausages, which was the only reason to go to Costco.
Right.
Huh. We're learning so much today on the show, aren't we, folks?
Yeah.
All right, on to Wacky But True. We don't add anything to these stories, but Sound Effects, the lunacy is self-contained. And, Alan, you're up.
A driver who fled the scene of a crash was attacked by a group of giant birds. A truck hit a store in Malmesbury, England, around lunchtime on Monday. 2 people got out of the truck and ran into a field. The driver was then attacked by a group of emus. The driver of the truck was arrested on suspicion of failing to stop, dangerous driving, and causing bodily harm. His passenger was also arrested.
Wow. I was gonna yell "duck" at the end of that, but they were emus. So
Attacked by
that
emus.
joke-
So would
joke
those
wouldn't
be angry birds?
Emus and ostriches terrify me. Absolutely terrifying.
They're big birds.
They are. They're dinosaurs.
I've always wanted to ride one, and I've got my emu call down.
Chuck, when you were a kid, Chuck, did you find Sesame Street terrifying?
The giant
bird. At times, yes.
With Big Bird on there. Yeah.
Scared of the vampire guy. Right. Dewey R. Frederick says a Jeep he bought from O'Daniel Automotive Group in Fort Wayne, Indiana, back in 1986 had a bad motor, and the dealership refused to make things right. That's why in 2022, the 79-year-old used road flares to torch 3 Jeeps at one of the O'Daniel lots and a Pontiac convertible at another, causing $75,000 worth of damage. Frederick is facing 4 preliminary counts of felony arson after being arrested on Friday. Frederick told police it was time for the chickens to return to roost. Wow. How many
Talk
years
about holding
did he
a
wait?
grudge.
Yeah. 14. That's a 36-year grudge that he held. 36 years.
Don't make that guy mad.
Yeah. Surveillance cameras picked up Frederick driving a pickup onto an O'Daniel lot at around 1:15 in the morning on July 17th. Upon his arrest, Frederick told investigators he's upset he did not get to see the fires happen.
Aww.
He said when they showed him surveillance video, he identified himself as the guy in the pickup truck, and when he saw the Jeep on fire, stated in court documents, "Oh, that blank one was cooking, wasn't it?"
I once watched my own van explode on the news.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was. A friend had borrowed it, and it was across town, and someone had broken into it, and the running theory is they were in there doing drugs or something, and started a fire, and there were some oxygen tanks in the back, and
yikes.
Yeah, it was a glass blower that had borrowed it, and he had all of his like acetylene and oxygen tanks in the back of the van when it went up in flames, and it caused damage for about a block and a half radius.
Wow.
Yeah.
I started my buddy's classic Volkswagen van on fire by accident.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of went down like this.
Help me, Tom Cruise! But how did he get down to his underwear that fast? Tom Cruise, get the witch grip on me to get the fire off me!
If you'd only known how valuable those things were at the time.
Yes. Yeah. All right, we're back to you, Chuck.
Okay. A wreck involving two 18-wheelers caused nearly about 20 tons of pineapple to spill on a Texas freeway. The roadway was closed for about 7 hours.
It's a lot of pineapple.
That is a lot of pineapple.
Tar.
There's a joke there, but I can't think of one.
Yeah, tar, rocks, and pineapple.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum.
Yeah.
This is a tasty burger.
That's all I got. Had no
Well, in this weather, you'd end up with roasted pineapple, and that's good.
True story.
Yeah.
Save us, Alan. More fire.
A North Carolina woman, apparently seeking revenge on her ex-boyfriend, tried to set fire to a house. Just one problem: she tried to set fire to the wrong house. Investigators estimate the home sustained approximately $20,000 in damage.
Wow.
That's not bad at all.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I spotted several big mistakes.
Is it back to me? I'm confused.
I think so.
All right, driver in the UK crashed his $340,000 Ferrari an hour after he bought it.
Ouch.
Car was totaled, but the driver walked away with just a few cuts and bruises. Oh, I have 3 sound effects for this one. The first one I thought about his new Ferrari. He gave it a name.
To the idiot mobile.
You know, what his girlfriend had to say after the accident.
You know what? I'm tired. Could you just call yourself an idiot?
And then the perfect song.
You are an idiot.
And the last one goes to Chuck Richie.
Okay. A terrified woman in the UK called for help after finding a tarantula the size of her hand in a cabinet at her home. When help arrived, they found the 8-legged creature was just a plastic toy.
Sweet.
If that had been in my house and it would have been a real spider, my daughter would have kept it as a pet.
That's creepy. All right. Yeah. I didn't have any spider sound effects, so I had to go out online and make this one.
The spider's new.
Spider? Yes, the spider. Even the smallest bite from Arachnus dethicus will instantly paralyze. Oh! Get it off!
Arachnus dethicus.
I like that.
We were discussing that movie the other day. That was from Megamind.
It
which
was
a horribly underrated and absolutely fantastic animated film.
It was. I have to
really good.
Have you ever watched it, Alan?
No, I have not.
I mean,
it's absolutely hilarious.
It's adult worthy. It totally is. There's
really
some
is.
of those like Pixar and some of these CGI movies that I think are just as much fun for adults as they are kids.
It's Will Ferrell plays the villain superhero who turns superhero against Brad Pitt, who is like the retired superhero who decides to become a folk singer, and everything in between is just absolutely awesome about that movie.
Yes,
nice.
Like the two of you, Chuck and Alan Maloney. There you go. That's your applause for that. Chuck Richie, Alan Maloney, thank you both for being here this morning. All right, and don't forget, out on vacation next week, so enjoy your Thursday off.
Oh, we get a Thursday off?
You get a Thursday off. All right.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That just seems wrong.
Sorry. Well, you guys, if you want to do it, you can. So. You got keys, Alan.
Yes, I do.
All right. We'll leave you with this and a wish for a happy day. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. It's KCHW 102.7.
This concludes the broadcast from World Control.
When I think of the time and the money I've wasted on your training, and you still turn out to be a blithering idiot, you're an utter failure. You make me sick.
That's encouraging.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's great. Go ahead, make your jokes, mister.
I will, okay?
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Come join us next week. We'll be eating legumes on the air.
Yes.
It's 9:01.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7